Hello everyone, welcome to Red 5 Standing By. I'm Andrew, and if you haven't heard already, I'm competing in the Movie Trivia Schmodown at Star Wars Celebration to be a fatal five-way to determine the #1 contender to face Alex Damon of Star Wars Explained. Really excited to be competing in that. But as a result, of course, I'm re-watching all the movies, and because of that, some of my opinions have changed on the later films. For example, I am liking Rogue One more and more. I've come to appreciate certain elements that are in that film. But on the flip side of that, there are certain movies that the weaker elements of the film, in my opinion, are bothering me more. And the one that's really frustrating me right now is in The Last Jedi. I'm kind of more 50-50 on this movie now. Everything with Luke, Rey, and Kylo Ren, I absolutely love. That was a risk Johnson took that absolutely paid off for me. It's just the storyline with the Resistance is the one that I have major issues with. And this isn't gonna be a rant about how I thought Finn was underutilized or how I really could have done without Canto Bite. This video is more about how I think it makes absolutely no sense why Holdo was keeping her plans from Poe a secret. Really, when you think about it, she's indirectly responsible for the Resistance almost being completely wiped out. Withholding information from Poe leads him to go with Finn and Rose's plan of disabling a tracker on Snoke's ship, which means they go to Canto Bite and bring back DJ, and he overhears Poe telling Finn and Rose that Holdo is abandoning ship, and when they get caught, he informs the First Order, which leads to them opening fire on the transport. And of course, Holdo saves most of them by sending the Raddus into hyperspace directly into the Supremacy, which, by the way, I don't think breaks Star Wars lore, but that's a discussion for another time. Also, I've heard this argument that military leaders don't have to necessarily tell their subordinates everything, and that is true, but to me, it seemed like she was more concerned with putting Poe in his place rather than guiding him and gaining his trust through this whole journey and them trying to avoid the First Order. And at the same time, Poe is kind of one of those people in the Resistance that you would want on your side because he clearly has a following. People look up to him and are willing to follow him into battle. So I really don't see why it's a plus to keep him at arm's length and not include him in your plans, because if you have him on your side, then you can get more people on your side and get more people to trust you as the leader. However, the most frustrating part about this to me is that Poe thinks that Holdo's plan is a good idea. When Leia regains consciousness and she tells him the whole plan, he's like, yeah, that could probably work. So he really should have been in on the plan from the very start, and I just can't understand why she wouldn't tell him. And it's not for a lack of Poe trying to figure out what's going on. He's come to her several times throughout the movie and say, hey, I want to know what's going on. He makes a big scene on the bridge and he notices that she's fueling up the transports. That would have been a pretty good time to tell him. And then when he tells her about his plan and what Finn and Rose are doing, she thinks it's a horrible idea, but then doesn't tell him what she's doing even as they're executing it. And then he freaking takes control of the ship and she doesn't even try to tell him, like, hey, calm down. This is what we're doing. I just don't get why she doesn't tell him what's going on, because again, he thinks it's a good idea. And oh my God, it's so frustrating every time I watch this movie. And I know when you look at it big picture, this movie is full of lessons that these characters have to learn, and this falls into the lesson of Poe learning to live to fight another day, and you don't always have to fight every situation, but it's such a costly mistake by Holdo, and had she would have included him in the plan from the very beginning, the Resistance would have fared off way better and wouldn't have to go through all this hardship and be whittled down to just like 11 people. So those are just my thoughts and my little rant that I had to get out of my system. But comment below, let me know what you think. Maybe I missed something out of the couple dozen times that I've seen this movie so far, but go ahead and let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and share it, and consider following me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, as I'll be talking anything and everything Star Wars, and I would love for you to stay up to date on all of those videos. Thanks as always for watching, and may the Force be with you.